Good afternoon, everyone. This is Point of View, and Merethah's with me, and Clee should be coming in if she's feeling like it. She had a rough night last night, but I'm so thankful that we did talk with her this morning, and she is doing much better. Thank the Lord.
Much.
Thank the Lord. So she'll explain to you what went on last night. So hello, baby sister. I love you.
Hello.
It's a wonderful day today. So, dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus,
Name
that
of Jesus.
any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Thank
Man.
you, Jesus. I'm just so happy that it's another day. And I tell you, I'm thrilled. So thrilled. Okay. What's your topic, sister?
Mine is uh excuse me. I was got off I saw a message and I got off Cleester was putting something on. Uh
Is she on?
don't look a gift horse in the mouth and other idioms that we use.
Okay, and mine is where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way.
So I'm going to turn you to the hands of Marita.
All right. So what's the meaning? This comes from phrases.org.uk. And it says the meaning and origin of expressions. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So, what's the origin of the phrase "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth"? Proverbs are short and expressive sayings in common use, which are recognized as conveying some accepted truth or useful advice. This example, also often expresses as "never look a gift horse in the mouth," is a is a pertinent today as ever. As horses develop, they grow more teeth, and their existing teeth begin to change shape and project further forward.
Okay.
Determining a horse's age from their teeth is a specialist task, but it can be done. The this incidentally also the source of another teeth age related phrase, long in the tooth. The advice
Hmm.
given in don't look proverb is when receiving a gift, be grateful for what it is. Don't imply you wish for more by assessing the value. Do we always, oh, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Be grateful for what you got. You know,
All right.
um,
Okay.
as with most proverbs, the origin is ancient and unknown. We have some clues with this one, however. The phrase appears in print in English in the 1546 as "Don't look a given horse in the mouth" in John
Okay.
Haywood's A Dialogue Containing the Number of Effects of All Proverbs in the English Tongue, where it's given as, oh, sorry, something happened, where it's given as "No man ought to look a horse in the mouth," a
Okay.
given horse in the mouth.
Given
Um,
horse.
so it is probable that Haywood obtained the phrase from a Latin text of St. Jerome, the letter to Ephesians, circa AD 400, that contains a text. I can't pronounce none of these words he said. Never inspect the teeth of a given horse. When St. Jerome got it from we're not even likely to know. Haywood is an interesting character in development of English. He will employ the courts of Henry the Eighth and Mary the First as a singer, musician, and playwright. His
Okay.
proverb is a comprehensive collection of those sayings known at the time includes many that we still use today,
Okay.
such as "Many hands make light work," "Rome wasn't built in a day," "A good beginning makes a good ending," and so on.
Okay.
These were expressed in the literary language of the day, as in, "Would ye both eat your cake and have your cake?" If you can't have your cake and eat it too, is what they were saying back in the other day, but the modern day stuff. But in modern versions, this would be obvious descendants. We can't attribute these Hayward to himself. He collected them from literary works of the day, from common
Mm-hmm.
parlance. He certainly be given credit for introducing so many proverbs to the wide, genuine audience, including Shakespeare later borrowed all wells, all's well that ends well, and then also see straight from the horse's mouth. So other proverbs that we use today, other idioms that we use, don't
Okay.
cast your pearls before swine.
Okay.
Okay. Um, don't get mad, get even.
Okay.
Don't let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, yes.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Yes.
Don't shut the stable door after the horse is bolted. It ain't gonna do you no good. The horse is already out.
Already gone.
Don't throw good money after bad.
Bad. Yes.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't try to teach your grandma to suck eggs. I ain't never heard
Oh,
that one.
and I never heard that one either.
I never heard that one.
Me either.
And it was one more that what is wrong with my phone? I can't get my stuff to go up. Sorry about that. It's not
Oh,
moving up.
that's okay. That is okay. We're doing good considering.
And it's not moving up. I apologize for that.
Just take your time. They understand technology.
So this upset the apple cart.
Ah, don't
Upset the
upset
apple
the
cart.
apple cart.
Huh.
Is it saying upset it or don't upset it?
Upset the apple cart.
Oh, okay.
That's what it said.
Okay.
Excuse me. I don't know what that don't try to teach your grandma to suck eggs. I had never heard that one.
I'd never heard that, and it doesn't sound
It doesn't
tasteful at
sound good at
all.
all.
Mm-mm,
The
no.
meaning or origin. I was trying to find out what it said.
Uh,
Don't offer advice to someone who has more experience than you. That's what that means. Don't try to offer advice to someone who has more experience than you.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Talking
that's what
about
that
the
means.
talking
Well,
about
that's a
the
bad way
grandma.
to phrase it,
Yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
notion of advising young, not to offer advice to those who are older than them and have more experience.
Uh-huh.
We don't do that. And yeah. So pardon me.
Uh,
I
do you need
apologize.
to take? Do you need to take
Yeah.
a
Let
swig of
me
some
yeah.
medicine or something?
Yeah, let me
Okay,
I'll be
she's
right
gonna
back.
take.
Sorry.
She's gonna take a swig of some medicine. She caught a cough over the weekend, and then we're waiting on Cleet to come in. I hope she's feeling well enough to come in, but if not, she knows that we're praying with her and for her. And I wanted her to tell you what what went on with her last night, and she said she was going to talk about it today. So anyway, I just thank God that she's feeling better, and I'm praying for that of Merethah, and she's feeling better than she did last night. So I thank God for that. And then my daughter wasn't feeling well, and I thank God that she's feeling better today. I've talked with her today, so I'm just thankful, thankful, thankful that God has blessed us to be where we are today. And hello, everyone who's here with us. We thank you so much for being with us. It's a wonderful day in spite of everything that's going on. It's a wonderful, beautiful day. And I am so grateful to God for it. So when Merethah comes back in, I want her to finish talking about hers. And I am trying to get to see if Clee is on here, but she is not on here yet. And so if she doesn't make it, we'll understand, even though we miss her dearly. You know me. You know me. I miss them when they're not here. But we thank God that you're here with us. And there she is.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I have this
That's
light trained on me and I got hot.
okay,
So
that's
yeah, that
fine.
exacerbated my put that on, but
Okay.
I apologize for that. But Thank you so much. And so, just different idioms that we use today that we got from, you see, that was said back in 1546 is where the phrase don't, uh, don't, the horse, with the horse that I was talking about. Um,
Okay.
yeah. But
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, or
don't
don't
look
look
gift
a
horse in the
giving
mouth.
horse in
Yeah.
the mouth. Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't look gift
Yeah.
horse in the mouth. So there are just
Right.
different idioms that we use today that we didn't know where they came from. You know,
Right.
don't keep a dog and bark yourself. It's
Uh,
just different ones that I had never heard of. Don't touch
okay.
a
Those are
chicken
good.
before they're hatched, but we are talking about them. But don't keep a dog and bark yourself. So
Okay.
the don't keep a dog and bark yourself. It means come on, it's putting up now. I apologize for that. The meaning don't keep a dog and bark yourself is advice that you should not pay someone to do a task and then do it yourself. So if you hire someone to do something, don't get out there and
Hmm.
try to tell them how to do it. Let them do their job. That's what this one is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good one. So you know how
Yes, it
some people,
is.
you get out there, they're cutting your yard, and you want to tell, well, you didn't do this over here, and you didn't let them do their job. Nobody's talking to you, Tia. Um, so don't let a cat out of the bag. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't put the cart before the horse. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So those are just different idioms that we use today, and I didn't know the meaning of most of them or where they came from. So I just thought I'd look up that one. That don't look a gift horse in the mouth,
And you
and
shared
and
with
see where
us.
it came
Yeah.
from.
I'm glad you shared that with
Yeah.
us.
So that's all that I have today.
That's it?
Yeah,
You
that's
say
it.
you say that's it?
That's
Well,
it.
well, you'll be keeping a watch out for Reedy. I've been watching for her. That's why people see my arm moving and everything, because I am watching out for her. That was wonderful, wonderful, baby
It was short.
sister. It's still good. It is still good. Short and sweet. Yes. And hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. So I am going to talk about where there's a will, there's a way. And this stemmed from, for today, my ordeal with getting my battery put into my car. So, of course, I ordered my battery from Amazon. Same battery, same warranty as the dealerships that people want me to buy from them. Okay. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. You're keeping that in your mind. So I bought my battery. It was delivered. Then, like I told you, I took it to the shop down the street, my mechanic, great mechanic. But he started to do it, and then of course you have to, with the computers and everything and the programming and all that, you have to have the instruments and everything, because you have to keep the program, be able to reprogram the car, save all information and all that. And so he told me he didn't have what we needed to do that, and then he told me, suggested that, which I always do anyway, but since he was so close, taking it better out. But anyway, he told me, suggested that I go ahead and take it to the dealership, and which that was my next thing. So I have my battery, and of course, I'm going to get a good deal. I'm not going to buy a cheap thing that's not going to work, but I'm going to get the best deal that I can. That's why I ordered my battery, because those of you who drive cars, you know that these batteries are expensive right now. We can't go and pay $50 for a battery. Well, maybe you can, but I couldn't find a $50 battery. And then also, Daddy taught us how to change the battery in the car, how to change the spark plugs, how to change the flat, even tune up a car if we had to. Daddy taught, well, I don't know whether he taught that, but he taught me that,
Oh yeah,
how to
he
do
taught me.
those
Oh
things.
yeah.
And then I could do those things. I could take a battery, you know, unhook the battery, take the battery and put it back out in there and
Yep.
hook it up, and go on about my business. But with this, couldn't do it this time. Didn't even know that the battery was not under the hood until we discovered that. And so then he suggested he went as far as he could go, being honest with me, and he said, I can't eat that. He said, and then another thing, working with that electrical, with that battery and things, you have to leave different things the way you had to do. He said, and I said this the other day. He said his mama says better to say there he goes than there he lays. So, and we had a good laugh about it. But so where there's a will, there's a way. So I called the dealership and asked, how much. I wanted to make an appointment to get my battery put in, installed, and one in and one out. And so then I had to call, and they were supposed to call me back. They didn't call me back. I called again. Then finally, they gave me a quote for putting the battery in, and then they said this is how much the battery would cost. And I said I have my own battery. Then I had to talk to another person because they didn't know that. And then they finally told me that you have to buy the battery from us. So the battery is going to cost $300 and something plus the installation, because see, they had already told me how much they would charge me to put the battery in, but then they also quoted the price for the battery too, but they didn't tell me at first that they would not put my own battery in there. So finally they told me, well, you have to buy the battery from us. So that was going to cost me almost $500. Okay. Then I looked around and found another place that would that installs batteries, and called. That place told me the same thing. And this is a place that does different things. And plus, you can buy supplies. Told me, you have to buy the battery from us. So I said, okay, thank you. So then my mechanic called me. He said, there is this place. They have the equipment to do it. And by golly gee, the place is not 2 miles from here, from where I am. I called this morning, and the man told me, said, yes, ma'am, you can bring it on, and we'll take care of it. I got there, and in like after they got the car in, about less than 30 minutes, then the young man came and told me, said, ma'am, I'm sorry it took so long. I said, it took long. He said, yes, ma'am. And it was like less than 30 minutes. And they got the battery in, didn't charge me an arm and a leg. I said, thank you, Lord. So where there is a will, there is a way. I didn't give up and I didn't give in, because I know there's always a way that is beneficial to me. Okay. So where there's a will, there's a way means if someone really wants to do something, they will find a way to do it, even if there are things that make it hard to do. This may be used in a positive sense, such as talking about a tireless worker who gets a hard job done. Okay, so this piece was written, that information was August 27, 2020. So now I'm going to Psychology Today. Where there's a will, there's a way. And this is by Galen Gewingerich, okay, PhD, and this is in Psychology Today. The search for meaning. Really, where there's a will, there's a way. So how to muster the will you need to find your way. And I tell you, where there is a will, there's a way. There's always a way that you can get to suit you and to benefit you and to be the best thing for you. You don't have to give in to the first thing. And I know, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even I'm not rich in money and all that, but I thank God that I can get the things done that I need to get done at the time that I need to get them done. But even if I had had that $500, I still would have found another way. I don't just spend money just because I have it. And then they say, well, it's going to cost you this much. I say, oh, that's okay. All right, I'll do it. I don't do that. I try to find the best deal for me. I don't give in to the first thing that comes around because there's always a better deal somewhere where you don't have to sacrifice quality. Okay, so where there's a will, there's a way. This was posted in September 18th, 2013, and this is Psychology Today. The Old English proverb asserts itself with a complete assurance. Where there's a will, there's a way. Like many time-worn sayings, this claim that mind always rules over matter rings true only some of the time, okay? It said it rings true. Mind over matter rings true only some of the time. Sometimes we don't have the will. Sometimes we lose our way. What should we do then? Okay, so this is getting, I think it's going to dig right into what we need to hear. Etta James, the best blues singer ever, knew more than most people about not having the will and losing her way. Born to a 14-year-old mother who wasn't interested in children and a father who had long since disappeared, she once described her childhood as a series of one-night stands. She was continually passed from one relative to another.
Wow.
As an
Wow.
adult, she abused her body almost constantly. And we've seen that movie Pink Cadillac. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
then Beyonce played her, but many times the movies, sometimes they add something in for entertainment's sake, or sometimes they leave stuff out. So we never really get the complete picture in the movie, I don't think. But anyway, she's 14 years old, and her mother was. Okay, so the men in her life, managers, singers, and family members alike frequently took advantage of her musically, financially, and sexually. After a withering battle with heroin addiction, Etta launched a comeback with an album entitled The 7 Year Itch. The most telling song on the album captures the power of her the fierce spirit. Okay, let me start that again. The most telling song on the album captures the power of her fierce spirit and the aimlessness of her fragile soul. In I Got the Will, she recalls that her mama told her the old saying that if there's a will, there's got to be a way.
Mm-hmm.
Etta found otherwise. I got the will, but I can't find the way now. So as Etta, I'm saying Etta, so I just try Etta, I say Etta, like we say it,
Mm-hmm.
says, sometimes in life we have the will, but we can't find the way. At other times, presumably, we know the way, but we can't seem to muster the will. In either case, getting from wherever we are to someplace better is our biggest challenge in life. How do we get from here to there? How do we find both the will and the way? And my song, Where Are We Now? It asks some questions. At the start of each new year, the literary agent John Brockman poses a provocative question to more than 100 leading scientists and science writers and asks them to respond. Brockman posts the result on his website. He posts the results on his website, which is edge.org. So in years past, he has asked, what do you believe is true even though you cannot prove it? What have you changed? What have you changed your mind about? What is your dangerous idea? Wow, those are some
Mm-hmm.
wow. So last year, Brockman asked, what is your favorite deep, elegant, or beautiful explanation. In other words, what deep puzzle in the universe or in human life has been unexpectedly solved by applying a simple and elegant principle?
Hmm.
The answers include some principles you would expect, such as relativity theory and quantum mechanics. Other responses seem almost too obvious to qualify. For example, everything is the way it is because it got that way. That's so simple.
It is.
Everything is the
Everything is the
way
way
it
it is
is because
because
it
it
got
got
that
that
way.
way. Hmm.
Wow. Oh, really? My
Hmm.
dad, who's not a scientist, would sometimes give a similar answer to my incessant questions about why this or why that. He'd say,
Because it is.
just because.
Just
That's what
because.
The most useful of last year's crop of answers came from Richard Thaler. It's Thaler, really, Thaler, a professor of behavioral economics at the University of Chicago Graduate School of Business and co-author of the recent book Nudge. What's his deep, elegant, and beautiful explanation? Commitment, he says.
Hmm.
It is a fundamental principle of economics that a person is always better off if they have more alternatives to choose from. But this principle is wrong. There are cases when I can make myself better off by restricting my future choices and committing myself to a specific course of
Course of
action.
action.
And that makes sense. It
Yep.
makes sense. Because the more you have to
More
look
choices.
at,
Hmm.
the more you have to work with to try to
Yep.
figure out which one you
Yep.
want to use, and then what will you do with the one you choose that you're going to use.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so Thaler explains that the idea of commitment as a strategy is an ancient one. Odysseus famously had his crew tie him to the mast so he could listen to the sirens' songs without falling into the temptation to steer the ship into the rocks. And he committed his crew to not listening by filling their ears with wax. Another classic is Cortez's decision to burn his ships upon arriving in South America, thereby removing retreat as an option his crew could consider. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Burn the ships and they can't retreat. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So Thaler's insight is that an exercise of will involves committing ourselves to one course of action, and this may be the hardest part, setting aside all other possible courses of action. And you know it is, because when we're trying to solve something or trying to do something, then all these things come into our minds and we have to sort out what do we want to use,
Yep.
what idea that comes into our mind, and all of that. And all of that is in the way of being able to get right onto what we are
Hmm.
planning or needing to do.
Yep.
So, as 20th century American poet Theodore Rothke says in the title poem from the Pulitzer Prize winning volume, The Waking, I learned by going where I have to go.
Hmm.
If you have the will to commit yourself, you can find your way in life. And that makes it, that's how we make it in life. Having a will to get to where we need to be at the
Yep.
time that we need to be there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
what time that is, we may not know, but when we do arrive, we'll be on time.
We'll be on time. This is
Uh-huh.
where I'm
So
supposed to be
right, at this time
at
and
this time.
place. Uh-huh. But then another thing that I have to say, everything works according to God's timing. So we have to stay on course
Yep.
and stay in sync with the timing.
Yep.
Okay? Okay. So when you're singing the blues about what to do and how to do it, remember Etta James. She's saying more truth than perhaps she realized. She may have said to her in her song that she didn't know the way, but she knew all along that she's had the will and
Hmm.
eventually discovered in her life that she did know the way.
Know the way.
But she had to make a decision about which way to choose. And that's the hardest thing. Which way? And who is that we know? Which way must I go? Which way must I
What
go? Who said that? Is
that
it
may that
somebody in our
butler. That
uh, ain't,
butler.
ain't Ophelia?
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Was it Adolphia or
I
was it?
think it was which way must I go? Which way must I go? I think it was. I'm not
Uh,
sure. Clee would know that,
yeah.
and I don't. I don't
Well,
think
Clee's
she's
not
in.
coming in. She said she's still sick.
Okay,
And
okay,
she said your
okay.
hair is pretty.
Oh, Theta.
Your hair.
Oh, thank you, Reedy.
She said Shirley hair is pretty. She said
Oh,
Shirley, your hair is pretty.
thank you. Thank you, Reedy. We love you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm almost finished. Uh, uh, it said, now I'm going to go back to this part about Etta James. She may have said in her song that she didn't know the way, but she knew all along that she had the will and eventually discovered in her life that she did know the way. But she had to make a decision about which way to choose, which required her to set aside other options. To have the power is eventually to see the path. We must see the path. We must. We
Yeah.
learn by going where we have to go. So get going. Ask yourself where in your life you need to stop waffling and make a commitment. Ask yourself where you need to start going and make progress. Things will get done in your life because you make a commitment to do them. You learn by going where you have to go. Explanations don't get any more elegant than this. And then this Dr. Galen Gurich, his PhD, he's a senior minister of All Souls Unitarian Church in Manhattan and the author of the book God Revised, How Religion Must Evolve in a Scientific Age. And so in order to we know that where there's a will, there's a way. And I know I told my story about the battery because that's very important to me, very significant, because we have to make up our minds. Okay, we have these options. So which options will we keep? Which will we eliminate? Which will we throw out? And then which of the options will we choose to use? And then we have to see the path that option takes us to. And then when we get to that path, we have to stay on that path in order to accomplish what the will is to
Yep.
get to where we need to go.
Yep.
But we don't have to settle for the first. We don't have to settle for the second. But make sure that your peace of mind, that it benefits you. Because by giving and paying out big amounts of money, even if you have it, just because you have
Yeah.
it, to
Just
me, it
because
really
you have.
doesn't make sense,
Yep.
when you don't have to.
Yep. You don't have to compromise yourself.
Right. And then compromising with other options, not just money, with your life.
Life. That's right.
And we talk about that every time we come on different areas of
Yep.
and things as we do this research. So yes, where there is a will, there is a way.
That is the
And the
way.
way that you choose might be harder than the first or the second way that was given to you or suggested, but in the long run, if you choose the one that's more beneficial to you, then
You.
you will be happier
Yep.
about it. But always know
Ooh,
that where there
ooh,
is a
I'm glad I
will,
waited. It would say, ooh, I'm glad I waited. It's, that's what you say
oh,
when you choose that
oh
type
yes,
of, ooh, I'm glad I waited. Ooh.
yes, yes. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you look, there's a better deal down the
Yep.
road,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be a cheap deal.
Nope. Nope.
It
It's
could be
always it's better.
inexpensive
Yes.
or
But
less
better.
expensive, but not cheap.
Nope.
because cheap suggests that it's just something to get by with,
Yeah. Nope.
or something that doesn't have good quality or whatever.
Nope.
We're not talking about cheap.
Mm-mm. Nope.
No,
Mm-mm.
we're not. But remember that where
Better
there's
for
a
you.
will, yes, for benefit you. So where there's a will, there is a way. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, even if that way that you choose seems harder than the options that you might have had the first time, the second time, but yet you get the mission accomplished.
Accomplished.
And that's what it takes. And I
You're
am
not
so thankful for my
worried.
baby sister here today. And I'm so thankful that Clee is feeling much better, that Lan
Yeah.
is feeling much better, that Merethah is feeling much better. Good
Yeah, I'm
enough to
trying.
come on
Woo.
the show today. So everybody, we love you so much. We love you, and I'm not looking at Facebook right now, but we will
I am.
get back. You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see Cleester. I see uh Yvonne, and I see, yeah. And then Cleester had mentioned Becky, but I don't see
Hello,
Becky's name.
Yvonne, Becky, Reedy. Thank you so much for being with us, everybody, and supporting us. And remember, where there is a will, there is a
What?
way. Okay. And so there was one other thing. Oh, yeah, time is very important. It's very essential. And I tell you that we are all living on God's time anyway. What we do with that time makes a big difference in our lives. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and I've taught twice about keeping your schedule. When you have a schedule, do everything within your power to keep that schedule. And I taught that lesson, I think it's Judges, the 19th chapter. And we can talk about how, things happened because this Levite did not keep the schedule. He kept being delayed and letting someone his influence him. Well, you could just wait. You could just wait. You could leave at this time. You could leave at that time. But always remember, time is very important. Very important. So
Mm-hmm.
stick to your schedule. Where there's a will, there is a way. And
Yep.
the timing is all wrapped up in there. Okay. Now, you
Yep.
have any words that you want to close out with, Maritha?
No, no, I'll have a better subject next time. I
Your
was,
subject was great.
you know, I always feel
Your
self-conscious
subject
about.
was great. Anything we present here, I believe that is God given. I
Yeah,
really do. And it works for the time.
yeah.
It works for the time. Okay.
Okay.
So God willing, I'll see you what is it? Saturday, because this is Thursday, right?
Uh-huh.
And at Saturday at 7:39 p.m. for Saturday evening Sunday school, and Sunday at 7 a.m. for Sunday morning manna from heaven. And I want to say, Thaddeus' birthday was
It was great.
Wednesday,
Monday.
right?
Monday. Now it was Wednesday.
Monday, and then we celebrated yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and we had a great
We
time
did.
here in Dallas. And I was so it was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And see, people always there are some outlets and
Uh-huh.
different people want to put a negative light on our men
Yeah.
of our persuasion,
Yeah.
our ethnicity, our
Yeah.
race. But when we were there yesterday in that
Yeah.
restaurant, we saw two sets of men
Yep.
sitting there playing chess.
Chess.
Yes. And it thrilled my heart.
They had their little clocks. They were toot, toot,
I
toot,
mean, yes, playing chess.
go on
Yes,
there.
yes, yes. Peacefully,
Yep.
quietly, and
Yep.
everything. And that happens all over the world. Not everybody, every race acts the same way. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? They talk about us, they talk about the other
Mm-hmm.
races and everything, but in every race, there's always some rowdy ones and some ruckus and
Yeah.
all of that. But there's always many, and really, I say the peaceful ones outweigh the rowdy ones. I believe that. And that's the way I
Yep.
look at it. So anyway, I won't as they say, I won't belabor the time, but I thank you so much. And so don't forget Miss P's seasoning. And if Clee, I don't know what she's going to have some merchandise for sale for Christmas, but Clee's Emporium. Merethah, you haven't started anything yet, huh?
Oh, but I'm gonna get my little channel started. I'm gonna get my little book reading
With the
started.
children,
Yeah, with the children and
reading to
adults
the
too.
children.
You know,
Great.
yeah, I'm gonna get that started too.
Okay.
Yes, because y'all know I'm a reader and I love to read, and I want children to read. I want them to read because
Hmm.
reading is wonderful.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's
Thank you,
wonderful.
everybody. We love you so much, and we appreciate you, and enjoy the remainder of your day.
Thank you. Bye.